When I saw that trailer, I said 100% I gotta see this, because I was not 100% sure what it was about. I watched it with some roommates, and we all had apparently different views of what was happening. Hello there, and welcome to Blockbuster Review. If you don't know what that is, it is where I play a single game of Tetris Marathon and try to review the film before the blocks reach the top or until 150 lines. Spoilers are at line 50, and we go on go. Let's see here. So, the film Lamb came out very recently, 2021. And when I saw that trailer, I said 100% I gotta see this, because I was not 100% sure what it was about. I watched it with some roommates, and we all had apparently different views of what was happening. I thought the film was about a couple who noticed a special lamb that they decided to raise as their own child after they have become childless. I assumed it was due to infertility. Then the movie starts going, and we find out, oh no, the lamb that they take in and start raising as a human is a half lamb, half human hybrid. So these, like, shepherds, I guess, they're farmers, you know, according to conversation they have. And there's not a lot of dialogue in this movie, and it's in the language of Iceland. I don't know exactly what that is. Feels a little bit racist. So they raise this child. It has one arm that looks like a human's, one hoof looks like a lamb. It has a completely lamb head, but it has human legs. It is disturbing. It's also disturbing how, you know, laissez-faire these humans get just immediately to raising this thing. That becomes challenged when the husband's brother, I'm going to say Peter, they have traditional Icelandic names that I'm not going to try and say and embarrass myself. I know that the lamb creature they call Ada, which was, I believe it's Ada, which was the name of their stillborn child, which I found out through the wiki and not the movie, because they don't really come out and just say it. But anyway, they are raising this lamb, and then the husband's brother Peter shows up, and he's like, "Yo, this ain't human, dog. This is an animal. Sure, it may look human, but it's an animal. It's not human." And then there's conflict between him and the couple. There's also conflict because this dude wants to get in the wife's pants and really doesn't keep it on the down low. He just goes for it every time they're alone, which is not cool. Not cool to your brother, bro. You're an asshole. Anyway, we're at spoiler territory here. So eventually, the older brother kind of gets chill with the idea of this child. He starts hanging out with it. They start riding the tractor together. They start having a good time. And that's something that this movie does. It takes its time, and it is very slow. You know, it's very brooding. But I think it does that to kind of warm you up to the idea, like, maybe this is okay? Maybe this is okay? I mean, I don't think I ever felt that way, but I seemed to feel like that's what the movie was trying to do, make you kind of feel a little bit okay about what's happening, even though it's not cool and very weird and very odd. But I mean, that's what the movie's doing. It's making you question, like, grief, and is that this creature is a gift to this family who has been struggling to have a child and to keep a child, and now fate drops this creature into their laps, which was born from a lamb, and it's made even more awkward by the fact that the lamb mother, you know, the creature that gave birth to that child, is just hanging outside their farmhouse going, "Hey, what the fuck you doing with my kid in there? It's mine." And then the human adopted mother just straight murders her because she has the power and agency of humanity. And it's real dark. Real dark. It's really... And I know that the movie, I think, is trying to give off more of an idea of, like, oh, loss and finding the gifts that come to you when they come to you, but also accepting when they leave. A little spoiler for what's going to happen at the end of this movie. But I kind of felt almost like this almost like anti-meat sentiment, like, oh yeah, these creatures, they have children like you have children, and then their children get taken away from them and they just have to go on with their life like you would have to if something horrible happened to you and your children. And it's you know, it's kind of a mind fuck. The other mind fuck in this movie, you know, after the wife kind of, she doesn't bribe the brother out of there, but gives him a bunch of money, says fuck off, we're happy, Ada's a gift, we're gonna be happy together. After that happens, the father takes Ada out to fix the tractor's being all busted and crazy. And big spoiler alert, definitely don't keep listening if you want to watch this movie to the very end and have this thing blow wide open for you. A giant ram man, half human, half ram, murders that dude with his own rifle. And it came out of nowhere, was not expecting it. My jaw literally was open because I was like, what the fuck? And then it made perfect sense. That giant ram dude was out fucking their lambs, made himself a little half man, half lamb kid, and wasn't up with these fucking humans, just pretending like it's theirs. So he showed back up, kicked the human's ass, and took his kid back. But the thing that I think is not controversial, but is weird, and that was a bad drop. That was a bad drop. I have to comment on it. I have to point it out right now. That was a bad drop. But the thing that made it kind of weird for me, the ending of this movie, the wife goes to find her husband. She hears the gunshot. She goes out there, and she finds him dead. And she's looking for the child. She's looking for what possibly happened. But all she has is a husband with a hole in his neck area. And then she just kind of like stands up and takes like a big breath, and the movie ends. And it's kind of, I mean, it is a what's the word? It is like an independent film. It's a foreign film, you know. They're allowed to get a little weird. It's not a Marvel big budget film, so the endings can be a little out there. But I was like, what? I mean, your husband just died. And then I read an article with the director who talked about the origins of the villain at the end, the big bad, which is this big bad ram man. And he said, well, it's because the main character, Maria, that's her name, she knew that Ada was only temporary, and she was going to come when she needed her, and then she would be taken away from her because she wasn't something that was going to stay around forever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Your husband just fucking died, though. Like, I feel like it'd be a different thing if, like, and I didn't make the movie, you know, I have no right to say how it should or should not be. But if, like, the ram and the human man had, like, a little summit, and then at the end of it, he's like, yeah, this is obviously my fucking kid, it's not yours, and then they gave it back to him, then it's kind of like, okay, that adds up. You're taking a big breath because you had this thing for a while, but instead it just murdered your man and then bounced. And you just kind of like, cool. And that's the only part of the movie that I was like, I didn't gel with, man. Wasn't my style. Wasn't my cup of tea. But other than that, looks great. Super cool. Definitely check it out. Right now it's like on premium rental, I guess. We had to spend money to rent it. It's not on any of the streaming services for free yet. But definitely watch it. It's worth your time. Peace!